project, and there are certain numbers here. And according to your domain, you can map the number. If you are into automotive industry, you can consider these numbers as dimensions, or production, manufacturing. Or if you are into service, these numbers represent transaction time or turnaround time or handling time, something like that, right? So we want the number to be 600. We want the number to be 600. That means my dimension should be 600. And now, let us say the product is produced in 4 shifts. Shift number 1, shift number 2, shift number 3, shift number 4. Shift number 1, I collect 4 data. I mean 4 sample. Shift number 2, I collect another 4 sample. Shift number 3, 4. Again, shift number 4. Sorry, each shift I collect 5 sample. So in a day, totally how many sample I get in a day?
20.
20 sample. I get 20 sample, but 5 in a group. So this is called subgroup number 1. This 5 is called subgroup number 1. This is subgroup number 2. This is subgroup number 3. This is subgroup number 4. Likewise, I collect the data for 5 days. Totally, I will have 20 subgroup. Totally, I will have 20 subgroup, and each subgroup has 5 samples. So overall, I have 100 reading. Now, this is how the control chart procedure, sampling plan. My subgroup size is 5. Frequency of sampling. Every shift I take 5 sample, and then in a day I collect data from all 4 shifts. That means 100 data. Now compute X bar. X bar is nothing but subgroup average. How many subgroup you have? 20. So each subgroup you calculate one average. Totally how many average you will get? 20 average you will get. That means 20 X bar you will have. And then range. For each subgroup, you calculate the range. Range is largest value minus lowest value. Since there are 20 subgroup, there will be 20 subgroup ranges. Done. Now compute X double bar. Because already you have 20 average. Can you calculate average of the average? That is X double bar. This X double bar will be the center line. This X double bar will be the center line in your X bar chart. Similarly, compute X bar. Sorry, compute R bar. R is range. How many range you already calculated? 20 ranges. So 20 ranges, I calculate average of the ranges, that is R bar. That R bar will be the center line in my R chart. Once center lines are fixed, I will calculate control limit, upper control limit and lower control limit. For calculating upper control limit, some formulas are there. For range chart, upper control limit D4 into R bar, lower control limit D3 into R bar. The D3 and D4 are constants based on subgroup size. What is our subgroup size? Our subgroup size is 5. Every subgroup had 5 samples. And then for X bar chart, upper control limit is X double bar plus A2 into R bar. Lower control limit is X double bar minus A2 into R bar. The A2 is again a constant depending on subgroup size. So for a subgroup size of 5, A2 is 0.577, D3 is 0, D4 is 2.114. I do not know how many of you have seen my training manual. I have prepared one manual for green belts that is also there in the list of PDF. You will see all the tables, whatever I'm referring here in the training, that is there in the training manual, you can see, right? And so the values are available. Now let us calculate certain things. See here, all the 100 reading, 20 subgroup, and each subgroup 5 reading. And now X bar. Can somebody explain how to calculate the X bar here?
Sum of data divided by sample size.
What is the sample size here?
5.
So sum of data divided by 5 will give you 600. How to calculate the range?
Maximum value
Sum
minus
of
minimum
all
value.
range divided by number of.
There is
Maximum
no,
minus minimum.
that's all. Maximum minus minimum. Maximum is 601.6. Minimum is
598.
590.
and the difference is 3.6. So this is how you must calculate X bar and you must calculate R. For one subgroup, I calculated. For all remaining subgroup, you can calculate, right? If required, I will share the data. All of you can practice this. So you can calculate all the X bar and all the range. Now 20 average is there. Calculate average of the average, that is called X double bar. What is X double bar? The center line in the X bar chart. Similarly, range I have 20. I calculate R bar. That will be the center line in the R chart. Now we are proceeding with the plotting of the control chart. Now I have a graph sheet. And now first you must plot R chart, not the X bar chart. I'll tell you the reason why. So R bar is known, upper control limit is known, lower control limit is known. What is the formula for lower control limit? D3 into R bar. Upper control limit, D4 into R bar. What is the value of D3? D3 is 0. So lower control limit becomes 0. Value of D4 is 2.114. So 2.114 into 2.72 gives 5.751. So I draw the center line. Center line is R bar, 2.72. See here, 2.72. I draw the center line. I've drawn the upper control limit, 5.75. I've drawn the lower control limit, 0. So center line is drawn, upper control limit is drawn, lower control limit is drawn. All of you are with me? How I have drawn the center line, upper control limit and lower control limit. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
I will be plotting the points. The points are nothing but the ranges. How many ranges we calculated? 20 ranges. First one, second one, third, fourth. All 20 ranges one by one I am plotting. I have plotted. I will connect the points in the same sequence. Take a scale and take a blue color sketch and then you can connect like this. And now all the points are inside the control limit. Now tell me, is this process under statistical control or out of control?
Statistical.
Under control.
Under control. If the R chart is under control, you can proceed and you can plot X bar chart. If R chart is out of control, no need to proceed. Your process requires an attention. Your process requires an investigation. Why the point is going out? If you don't do that, then you are not giving justice to your job as a manager or as a leader in the company. But now the process is statistical control. Now I proceed with the X bar chart. And X double bar is known. How to calculate upper control limit? X double bar plus A2 into R bar. A2 is 0.577. R bar is 2.72. We already have here. You see here. This is our R bar. So all the calculations, everything is available. So I draw the center line. I draw the upper control limit. I draw the lower control limit. So all the three are available. Now what am I supposed to plot? Averages. I'm supposed to plot averages. How many average I have? 20. First one, second one, third, fourth. I plot like this. Now I will connect the points in the same sequence. Now look at the graph and tell me, is this process under statistical control or out of control?
Out of control.
Out of control.
Subgroup number 8 is out of control. So what will you do now if you observe like this in your company? You are responsible for the process and your control chart gives a signal like this. Now what will you do now?
Particular lot we will take and reinspect, sir.
Come again.
Particular subgroup size which is getting out, we will take that lot and we will reinspect, sir.
Very good. So this is a subgroup number 8. Am I right? Subgroup number 8. Subgroup number 8, we collected on day number 2, shift number 4, isn't it? We go to day 2, shift number 4 output, and then we will study whether every output is proper or not. And then we will also try to investigate further to understand why this output came on day number or on day 2, shift number 4, subgroup number 8. Why am I doing all this investigation? Because this is after all 1 point came out, no? Shall I ignore or I really have to take it very serious? Can it be ignored? Because it is only 1 point, no? There are so many points which are inside. Only 1 point came out. Is it really important for you?
Important, sir.
Important, sir.
Why is it important? But Venkatesh already gave a wonderful clue. Why it is important?
Because the particular lot rejection will happen again also, sir.
Because this point represent the entire lot you produced on day 2, shift number 4. Am I correct? Day 2, shift number 4, you have taken only one subgroup sample. But that one subgroup sample is the representative of everything you produced on day 2, shift number 4. Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir.
If this is wrong,
Entire.
what is the possibility? The entire thing you did on shift number 4 on day 2 could be wrong.
Yeah.
So if you dispatch the product as it is, the entire lot might come back. So you should not take it lightly, though it is just 1 point coming out of the control limit. Don't take it lightly. If you take it lightly, I know many companies, they don't use the control chart properly. They might take it lightly. If you take it lightly, what will happen? Then so many points might start falling outside the control limit. That means you will have problem not only on shift number 4, then problems may start happening in other shifts also. Am I correct? And finally, everything you produce may become unacceptable in a short while. So if you want to avoid major challenges, you must take action even if a single point goes outside the control limit. So a point falling outside the control limit. So a point falling outside the control limit, whether it is upper control limit or lower control limit, it is a strong signal. You must stop the process, you must investigate, you must fix it, and then only you must continue producing. If you don't have that habit, don't have that culture, then definitely serious challenges you will be facing in a short while. And now I am showing both the graphs at a time. This is R chart and this is X bar. Which one you have to plot first, R chart or the X bar chart?
R chart.
R chart should be plotted. If R chart is under control, then only you must plot the X bar chart. Because in the construction of X bar chart, for calculation of upper control limit, you make use of the center line here. So this center line will be valid only if all the points are under control. If the points are not under control, the center line is invalid. That is why I told you only when R chart is under control, plot the X bar chart. Otherwise not. If the R chart gives a signal, like R chart, you get a point outside the control limit. That means process spread is a problem. That actually means the variation within the batch is a problem. The variation within the batch is a problem. If the X bar chart gives a signal, that means the variation between the batch is a problem. Can somebody tell me what is the difference between variation within the batch and variation between the batch?
Sir,
Variation.
within the batch means the whole group, sir.
Okay. Between the batch means? You are right.
Only
Between the
one.
batch means any of two.
Okay,
Any
we'll
of
talk
two
about.
subgroups.
You're right. You're right. So I'll again give you a apt example. Right. So subgroup mean allows us to track the process center, and subgroup range allows us to track the process variation. We want the process variation to be under control. We want the process center also on the target. If R chart must be under control, then only you should interpret the X bar chart, right? Because control limits in X bar chart are calculated using the R bar value. If R chart is not in control, don't plot X bar chart. Immediately investigate, fix it first. Then only you must proceed with the X bar chart. But if R chart is under control and X bar chart gives a signal, you can understand the problem is with the process center. Process center means batch to batch variation. So imagine you, or can somebody tell me what product do you manufacture? And can you please share what are you
Hose pipe.
Trupti, what are you producing?
Hose pipe.
I'm not getting. What is that?
Hose. HOSE. Hose pipe.
Okay, hose pipe. Very good. Hose pipe. I understand. In hose pipe, do you think there will be any quality checks?
Yes, sir. Leakages and all.
What do you check? Leakage, huh?
Leakage, then
Okay.
bubblings, then there is a breading process.
Outer dia, inner dia.
Very good.
Yes.
Outer diameter, inner diameter are important. So I
Yes.
wanted that because outer diameter, inner diameter are continuous data.
Yes,
If
sir.
the outer diameter is wrong or inner diameter is wrong, then customer will make a complaint because the hose will not fit into the assembly properly if the diameter changes. All right.
Outer diameter is most important, sir, because for the fitting purpose.
Understand. Right. So imagine Tripti manufactures hoses and she is sending one lot to Chennai. Where is your company, Tripti?
Nagpur, sir. Nagpur.
Okay. So she is in Nagpur. She produces everything from Nagpur, and from all the way from Nagpur, one batch comes to Chennai. And in a batch, let us say there are 1,000 hoses. In a batch of lot sent to Chennai, there are 1,000 hoses. And now these 1,000 hoses will be used, by, let us say, 1,000 customers. And Tripti, do you expect all the 1,000 customers to have the same experience with your hose, or are you okay to give them different experience?
Different experience, sir.
Oh, you want to give them different experience. Why? You want to trouble them in a different way?
So sorry, please repeat again.
When 1,000 people are buying your hose, all of them should get the same experience, isn't it? Otherwise, there is no consistency in your dimensions. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
See, if you buy a packet of biscuits and the packet of biscuit will have 100 pieces, you taste every piece. Do you expect the same taste in every piece, or you are okay to have something good and something bad?
Same taste.
I want that same taste, isn't it? Same way, when you send a lot of one lot containing 1,000 hoses to Chennai, all 1,000 should be same. Then only your product is reliable. I can boldly sell it to my customers in Chennai. So this is what we are trying to monitor in our chart. All of you understand what I'm talking now?
Yes, sir.
How about others? Only Tripti is answering me. So our chart monitors the within batch variation. If within batch variation is under control, all 1,000 customers using the various products produced within a lot will have the same experience. We want to give same experience to every customer. That is called within batch variation. That is what we are monitoring in our chart. We want our customers to have same experience and it should be the best experience. Am I right? And whether every customer is getting the best experience or not, we are monitoring in the X bar chart. We are monitoring in the X bar chart because X bar tells me whether I am on the target or not. If X bar is on the target, every customer will have the best experience. All of you are with me on this? There are two things I am talking. One is within batch variation. Another one is between batch variation. Within batch variation means the products have if the within batch is under control, there is a lot of uniformity in the product. Uniformity means every product is almost similar to the other product. And then X bar chart is between batch variation. Between batch variation, if the between batch variation is also minimum, then and my X bar is on the target, then every batch I produce, will meet my customer requirement, and my customers will definitely feel happy about the product. So you need to maintain both. So you need to ask questions to understand more on the points which I am talking. If no questions, then you are boring me. So now X bar R chart, X bar S chart, and IMR chart. There are different types of control chart exist. We learned X bar R chart. You can use X bar R chart when your data is continuous. When your subgroup size is 8 or less, you can go for X bar R chart combination. When subgroup size is more than 8, you can go for X bar S chart. When subgroup size is equal to 1, you can go for IMR chart, individual moving range chart. The formulas, whatever we have used, are there here. You don't have to buy out these formulas and all. It is there in the manual, and softwares like Minitab will handle it properly. So a control chart can detect special causes. It can be used to monitor stability, determine the readiness for improvement, and demonstrate the improvement visually also. X bar R chart monitors the mean and variation. Any CTQ, critical to quality, it can be diameter, it can be thickness, it can be, the length, it can be whatever. And X bar R chart you can use when your subgroup size is 8 or less. A point falling outside the control limit indicates the presence of a special cause. You should not ignore it. Even though it is a single point, you need to understand single point represents the whole lot, right? You have taken one sample from a particular shift. So if the sample is collected properly, that is going to represent the whole whole thing you produced on the particular shift. So if a special cause is detected, the process must be stopped for detailed investigation. If subgroup size is more than 8, X bar S chart should be used. If the subgroup size is 1, IMR chart should be used. R chart should be in control before interpreting X bar chart. When R chart is in control, you are sure that any out of control signal from the X bar chart is due to the shifting of the process center. Shifting of the process center is the major issue. If the shifting of the process center happens, then you will start getting complaints all over your market. But if R chart you have a problem, probably the variation within the batch is more. But when X bar chart is out of control, the variation between the batch is more. So center line in average chart is X double bar, and for average chart, upper control limit is X double bar plus A2 into R bar. Lower control limit is X double bar minus A2 into R bar. And for range chart, lower control limit is D3 into R bar. Upper control limit is D4 into R bar. So these are the formulas we have studied. And similarly, for attribute data, for continuous data, we have understood 3 charts. And for attribute data, we have 4 more charts. P chart and NP chart, and then C chart and U chart. These are mainly to deal when you want to monitor defects or defectives. These charts comes into picture. For defectives, you have P and NP. For defect, you have C and U. And within defective, the difference between P and NP is when your subgroup size is fixed, you can go for NP. When subgroup size is variable, go for the P. Similarly, within defects, when your subgroup size is fixed, go for the C. When subgroup size is variable, go for the U, right? So the formulas are here, but you really don't have to remember all these formulas. So what we do is, we'll take your questions and then I will show you how to plot control chart.